fucking around with it. I don't know why I tried, because I know normally you have to have 1,000 subs and all kinds of shit to go live. It would be laughable if it wasn't actually so serious. And why is it serious? It's so serious because it creates more of the same problem. You have people who claim to be on one side or one thing. They promote, their version of freedom, whatever that is. What that normally means, as long as I'm not being bothered, I'm okay. I don't care as long if other people are being bothered or harassed or whatever. He posted a video a few weeks ago and it said, "Stop backing the blue." Clickbait means views. Views mean money. And you read the video, the whole moral of the video is don't back the blue that don't back you. That's what he said in the video. I think it was his actual last statement in the video. I left a comment on there. I don't really think it was necessarily to him. It may have just been a comment. And the pinned comment, which is his comment, because people comment on pinned comments, it drives the algorithm, more views, more money. And I basically, I left a pretty detailed comment. And in the comment was, cite where in our Constitution we gave government the authority of police society. And of course, he uses the same bullshit that everybody else does. Most people do, not everybody, most people. The 10th Amendment. So I asked him, all he says is the 10th Amendment, PayPal to my email address or some shit like that. I'm trying to collect money. I just kind of laughed and I sent him a reply. I'm like, well, the 10th Amendment doesn't do that. The 10th Amendment does not give the state the power to give itself authority over me or anyone else. And the people within a state don't have authority over me to give that power to government either. So no, the 10th Amendment does not do that. But he's heard that it did because I asked him to explain what you're saying. If that's what you believe, then you should be able to explain what you believe. He only believes it because he heard somebody else say this shit. So there was some back and forth, a couple comments. I wasn't rude or anything. I'm sure it was taken as being rude. I wasn't rude. Tech T texted me. He said, "That douchebag deleted all your comments." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "VSO Gun Channel deleted all your comments and his comments." So I went back and looked, and he did. Not only did he delete the comments I had, his replies, he deleted every comment in the thread he didn't like. There was like 28. At one time, there was at least 28. And I have screenshots of it. I took screenshots of it because if these fuckers are nothing else, it's fucking predictable. And then now you go look at it, and there's only 6. But he's not what he's not what I say he is. And what I say he is the thing he claims to be against, which would, to some degree at least imply to that side of that imaginary line. Because a few years ago, the complaint was that these people on this side of this line are doing this thing, and that thing is silencing people. It's one thing to silence people if they're, just being total dicks. I don't even see it then. You have to really harass me before I'll block you. You know what I mean? You just have to be one of those people that are just concrete in your belief system, that don't give a fuck, that don't care about the evidence, don't care about the facts, don't care about what can be verified. You just have your opinion. You can't explain your opinion. It's just your opinion, and that's it. I will block those people after a period of time. But I give them, so much rope that they've hung themselves 14 times with it before I'll finally be like, you know what? This is not progressing anywhere. You're a fucking idiot. Just go away. And maybe I'm just justifying why I do it. And he's kind of free to block anybody he wants, I guess. I don't see the purpose in it though. If somebody's just not being a complete dickhead repeatedly, You know, because everybody says some shit that can be read out of context because text don't have emotion in it. That's the problem with text. There's no emotion in text. So I can send you a text and say, you know, go kick sand. Which sounds like a bad thing, but you know, like, but if I had some tickets for you to fucking go to the beach and I just put them in the mail for you, then you would get it when you got the tickets, and probably when I said it to your face rather than in a text. But the amount of effort he took in it is what is, you know, he wants people to see it his way. That there's good cops. You know, because they support you. So if you want to be the guy that asks for permission to have cans, or you want to be the guy that, you know, runs a gun shop or has all these cool little widgets that you got to ask and pay for permission to have, if cops will leave you alone, then everything else they do is okay. Well, ignore the fact that they murder people. It's murder. It's not all they fucked up. It's murder. You killed somebody. You wrongfully killed them. Killed them for no reason. That's murder. It's not killing. It's just murder. Let's ignore that. Let's ignore that every one of us is extorted to some degree or the other because there's these guys that wear badges and have guns. And if you don't pay the extortion, whatever that is, whether that be the sales tax at the grocery store, your tax for your property and home, your tax for your licenses for your car, your plates for your car, your tax for your driver's license, they will come and they will do bad shit to you. And if I did any of that same shit, you would fucking laugh in my face, and if not, rightfully kill me. You know, that if I owned if I owned a big swath of land and I put a house right in the middle of it, and I leased that land to you, and I put up a fucking sign on the side of the driveway that said 15 miles an hour, and I got all kitted out wanting to hit the woods with some trees, you know, glued to my helmet and shit, and caught you doing 27 miles an hour. And I walked up to you and handed you a piece of paper and said, here, be in court on Friday at 9 a.m. You have to miss work. Bring some money because there's going to be a fine. You laugh in my face. Government does the same shit, and they don't even lease the shit to us. It's ours. We paid for it. Our gas tax is what pays for the roads. They do the same shit, and we call it justice or some other nonsensical fucking word that you've been told over and over and over throughout history. Throughout your life, anyway. But it's hiding what people won't know. So nobody will know that he did this. I know he did it. You will know he did it. If you want to know, send me a text, email me. I'll send you the screenshots of it. It's clear as day what he did. I have the screenshots before and I have the screenshots after, and I have the screenshots in between. Hey, Scarface. So he can still stand on his pedestal as if he's this good, you know, whatever he claims to be. I don't even know at this point. I'm sure it's something along the effect of that patriots in that explanation somewhere, and law-abiding citizen, because you could be a patriot as you obey government. It just makes there's no sense. There's no sense in any of it, and it's not going to get better. I can complain about it until the day I die. What I've done is I put a lot of effort and energy into something to try to educate people. Sure, a few people caught on. The majority of people just don't care. They care about what they've been told rather than caring about what's right. And nothing's really going to change. It's going to continue to go down this fucking hill, and it's going to continue to pick up pace as we see us doing. And nothing's going to stop it. And it's not because I don't want it to stop. It's not because I don't want you to be free. And what kills me about it is you have these people that are pro whatever. Throw whatever you want behind that pro. Pro rights, pro freedom, pro gun, whatever it is. And I stand back and I say, I want you to live your life however you want. Take that to the furthest degree that you can. And as long as you're not violating the rights of the people around you, I don't care. I genuinely don't give a fuck. If you want to get in your car, get smashed drunk, and jump in your car and chance driving home, more power to you. Don't hurt nobody. I have no problems with it. If you hurt somebody, well, then there's a problem that we obviously need to solve, but we don't need the government to solve it. Because what happens on a long enough time frame, when government's the solution, or becomes part of the solution anyway, is that government becomes the solution. Now you see somebody whoop their kid's ass in the grocery store. Do you think that they're getting assaulted? I seen that one the other day. Grown man beats 15-year-old kid's ass. We know who it is, but if he was a witness, call, so-and-so police department. I'm like, well, there was not a lot of information in that. Was the guy who beat this kid's ass the kid's dad by chance? Because I don't know about you, but me, I never got whipped as a child. What I did do, though, with my dad a lot is fist fight. Once I turned about 15, we were fighting. It wasn't because he wanted to fist fight his kid. It was because my dumb ass thought I was a grown-up, and that was my way of solving things. It wasn't my dad's way of solving things. So is that what happened? And then if that is what happened, I mean, what part do you play in that? Is it your fucking business? No, it's not your business. But the solution to the problem is to call government. Let's get government involved. So no matter what happened, this dude can go do a bunch of time in jail, and it was in fact his dad. That his dad can get out of jail after having his life ruined. Now probably be on probation. Now be in the system. Now have all this other shit he has to do because government says so. You need to go to rehab, go to NA meetings because we say so. Because that always helps people that need to go to NA meetings. A lot of the time they're not even drug addicts or alcoholics, and they make them fucking go. Because, they associate these problems with those things. Therefore, you have that problem and you must go. Well, the truth is if you don't want to quit and you are an alcoholic or a drug addict and they send you to those things, it makes it far worse. I've said it 1,000 times. I used to go to those because of that reason, and I would walk out and call my sponsor and my dope boy. Whoever gets to me first has got my business. If you try and talk me out of it, the other dude say, man, I'll be there in 10 minutes. But it's not going to get any better. And injecting government, definitely, there's not a problem in the world that government can't make worse. And if you have learned nothing at this point, surely you have learned that. But that's the solution to every problem now. Whether it be the 15-year-old getting beat up by the adult, and that's not even what they said. They said assaulted. That's a pretty gray word now, it's pretty open-ended. I mean, I've assaulted people through comment sections before. Because now it's not assault, it's not attached to something physical. It's attached to feelings. How you feel is dependent on whether or not you were assaulted. But that's what they want. They want to inject government and everything. At the same time saying when it affects them in some way. At least some way to a degree that it bothers them. They don't go to sleep well at night because of it. Now they're like, whoa, slow down. I was fine up until this point, but I'm not fine after that point. Because they don't care about everybody else prior to that point. How do you think fucking government got to that point? Millions of lives is destroyed. That's how. And you're next. Your group's next. But hiding behind a delete button and hiding behind the edit button doesn't make you right. In fact, I can make a great argument why it makes you wrong. Because if you were right about your fucking position, Mr. VSO Gun Channel, hopefully you see this one day, you would have stated your position and argued what facts that there are. But there are no facts for your position in the argument, therefore you delete it. So the argument no longer exists in the realm, right? And nobody can see what you really are. Well, anybody with any common sense. The truth is that people would have seen it, they would have took your side because they're fucking idiots. And they probably would have agreed with you. Those people not being able to explain it either. Because it's not about what we can explain or what's fact. Why do you think COVID, why do you think it went the way it did? Because people are so apt to latch on to what they're told rather than to pay attention to their own senses or to the facts. Funeral homes wasn't no busier. Yet we believe that all these people are just killing over the streets everywhere. We didn't see it happening, but we believed it was happening. It's happening because the TV says so. Got to be true. Do you remember when it first happened? And they were talking about the hospitals in New York having reefers. What?
What you doing?
A live stream.
Oh.
I'm getting ready to leave. I gotta go.
A whole white seat right there.
Yeah, I know. It's from. I know. I gotta clean my truck out. I know. I love you. Take care of your brother. Make sure you. I know. Make sure you shut the gate up. Tell your brother to pick up those cans. But they said that they were filling these reefer trucks, these 53-foot semis. A reefer is for people that don't know, and I'm sure probably everybody knows. A reefer is a semi-truck trailer with a refrigerator on it. It'll get down to -10. Some of them. They're stacking bodies in these reefers because they have nowhere to put them. Fast forward 3 years later. How many people lost their businesses, their homes, their livelihood, their cars, their kids, their relationships, their lives in some cases? People will fucking off themselves because everybody was so apt to believe what they were told rather than just read the facts or even fucking for that matter. Goddamn, sit there and have a 3-minute conversation with yourself in your head. For those of you that don't know, Freedom Inc. I got a strike for the video with Red Reaper, Joe Cool, that we did 21 months ago. I got a strike for something that I wasn't even sent in it. I listened to the whole video. Not one time did we talk about the 2020 election. Not one time. Talked about the 2016 election. You're not allowed to say something. I mean, that's kind of, we see all these things happening. Take these story hours that are going on. Tractor Supply jumped into that for their ESG score because we're about to see a lot more of that. That's going to become more prominent in society, ESG scores, when it comes to these companies, which is going to be followed up closely by the social credit score. Now, if you're one of you people, I'm going to let you know right now, having any affiliation with me, whether it be on YouTube and text, because we're friends, because you call me occasionally, whatever, is going to lower your score. So if you give a fuck about that, I'd suggest that you cut all ties with me. Me, on the other hand, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to try to drive that shit all the way to the bottom. And I'll be exiled. And I'm cool with that. And I'm fine with that. I would absolutely be happy about that. Because once that happens, there's no reason to even try to play by any of the rules anymore. Any of it. At that point, it's the world against you. Which is kind of how it already is. I mean, especially when you can make a statement and then you can just delete that statement so nobody has to see that you made that statement. When you only made the statement because you have a belief based on nothing. And we're going to see more and more of that shit too. And what's the solution? You can't fix stupid. You just can't. And Tech T said something to me in a comment this morning about somebody else. He said, They're stupid OO. And I said, what? He said, they're stupid, like STOOPID. They're so stupid, they're stupid. And that's just what it is, man. It's, people don't want shit to change. They just don't want shit to affect them. If the ATF came out today and said, hey, VSO Gun Channel, we're going to apply all this shit to everybody else except for you, motherfucker wouldn't have shit to say. Wouldn't have nothing to say. On the flip side of that, I guess it's not really the flip side of that. If government came to me and said, hey, we're not even going to bother you the rest of your motherfucking life, I'd still be saying all the shit that I'm saying now because I don't give a fuck about you. I care about you. And I care about you because I care about my kid. So one day I'm not going to be here. And it's going to be left on them. Because you people, not you people, but you people, you motherfuckers know what I'm talking about, want to continue to write letters and begging for forgiveness and voting the next tyrant in. Always a solution to the problem is never a solution. It's virtue signaling at its finest in order to sell some coffee or your new favorite sponsor scope or whatever it is. If those scopes were so good, you've been using them for so long, why haven't we heard about that shit before? Never one time I ever heard you mention them goddamn, what, you just don't want to get free advertising? What, I thought you liked your fucking, your subs. You don't want to Say, hey, if you want to spend your money on some shit, this is some good shit to spend it on. You got to wait till you get paid to say that? Well, yeah, of course, because it's all about money. It's a job now. YouTube becomes a job for some people. And to a degree, I get it. I don't get it in that sense. You can make it a job and every now throw your subs a bone. But how am I supposed to believe you that these are the best optics in the world when I can clearly see that you run aim points or you run Arkans or whatever it is? But I've never seen one of those on any of your guns. But now they're the best. You've been using them for a long time. Okay, whatever. Use your discount code. I like the idea of making the shirts. I think we should do it. And we'll send them to all the... I think we have it made cheaply enough that then we can just send them out to people. We'll have them come and take it, or I'll turn it in on the front, and then we'll have them on the back, down on one knee, handing the rifle to the cop with the cop's dick in their mouth. Might lose you guys for a second. I got an emergency call. This is off topic, but we'll talk about it anyway. Got an emergency call. Lady needs a TV installed. I'm like, well, I call her and I'm like, what's going on? I just swapped some TVs out in her house for her because one of her TVs, the sound went out of it. And she's an older lady. We did that for nothing. I went over there and I didn't charge her nothing. I don't have to make money every time I do something. So I went over there and me and Christy swapped it out. We were there about, I don't know, an hour. And we didn't charge her anything. We just left. And then she calls me up and she says, I need, the sound went out of that one too. So I need to go buy one. I don't have a way to pick it up because I need one bigger than will fit in my car. Will you, can you go get it for me? I'm like, yeah, I can go get it for you. No problem. Just call me. I'll meet you at Walmart. Well, I'll take it to your house. And her house is 35 minutes one way from Walmart. I'm 20 minutes from Walmart. So just in driving, I got 50 minutes invested already. And I'm about, 30 minutes from her house probably. So I got an hour and a half of driving tied up in this before I even left my house. She's like, well, I'll pay you. I was like, I know you will. I ain't that concerned with it. I don't mind helping people out occasionally. So the other side of this is that I know somebody looking for a storm shelter because, around here there's a lot of tornadoes. So by being the guy that doesn't have to make money every time I turn my fucking head, yes, I know that it would benefit me to make money every time. And I know that I need the money. At the same time, it doesn't sit right with me. Charge somebody $150 to swap TVs out of rooms. Well, you could charge less. Well, if I'm going to charge less, there's no sense in charging at all, because that's what it takes me. For me to show up to your house, whether you live 10 minutes away, well, if you live 10 minutes away, ain't that bad. But if you live, 30 minutes away, it takes a few hours of my time. So I kind of charge you for that because I have a minimum time threshold. If I'm there 5 seconds or 2 hours, you're going to pay me for 2 hours. So anyway, I know a person's looking for a storm shelter. This lady has a storm shelter built in her garage and also a storm shelter outside. So I'm like, you want to sell that storm shelter? She's like, yeah, I'll sell it to you. I'm like, well, what do you want for it? This was the other day. This was prior to even today. And she's like, well, I don't need to make a bunch of money off of it or nothing. She's like, just give me $800 or $900 for it. It's a $4,500 storm shelter. So I call the lady looking for a storm shelter, and she wants the storm shelter. But I do the same thing to her. I could have sold it to her for a couple grand, but she gives me work. I'm thankful for that work, so it's easy for me to make everything happen. All I got to do is be the middleman. And I ain't even got to do nothing. I ain't even got to move the son of a bitch. Her son's going to move it. But then she's going to give me money just for finding it because I saved her $3 grand. Just by being nice to a lady that, wouldn't she have told Jimmy Still if I wouldn't you just want to hook TVs up for her without charging her? Probably. I mean, maybe. I would like to think that my kindness had something to do with her kindness, though. And being kind, moral of the story, isn't supporting violence on other people. But that's the solution to every problem. If you call government, you get government involved, you're saying, come here, violence, or be violent, and make this person act as I want them to, right or wrong. And that's what being pro-freedom is today. That's what being a patriot is today. Or pro-Second Amendment rights, or pro-rights, or just whatever. Like I said, throw any pro behind it that you want. I'm curious how I can live stream on this channel, though, being that I don't have 1,000 subs. I guess they changed it. Maybe they figured out everybody was going through StreamYard to live stream anyway. There was no way of stopping it. Who knows? Who knows? I did a rant on Facebook the other day. I took it down. I didn't take it down. I just kind of hid it for now because I don't think people there are ready for what I say. And it was actually a really good rant. I wish I'd have done it on YouTube because I was pissed off about some stuff. So when I get when I'm not mad, I can subconsciously or consciously, either one, limit what I say, because to a certain degree you can only say so much before you get a strike, before you get censored, before the cops kick in your fucking door. I'm surprised that shit ain't happened yet already, to be honest with you. And I just kind of went all out, which is, and I feel more and more like that's what I need to do, and just eat the consequences of it. The worst consequence would be is that the cops kick in the door. Not because I threatened anybody or anything. Even if I did, who gives a fuck? A threat is not an act. A threat does not create a victim, but it does in a society where everybody relies. You cooked my steak wrong? Call the police. You didn't get my food out to me fast enough? Call the police. That's what we do now. Your kid acts up, call the police. Your kid don't want to get out of bed for school, call the police. It says non-drip, but when you spray a quarter of the bottle down your nostrils, it tends to drip. I don't know if I can fucking breathe anymore. Out my nose anyway. But creators, even myself, couldn't block somebody or delete comments themselves. But then you can't rely on Facebook to do it, because it pushes a fucking narrative, man. It becomes an echo chamber. If somebody could convince me that I'm somehow free if government has authority over me, I would listen. I would listen to a good argument. I just haven't heard a good argument yet. And like I said, the facts prove otherwise. It proves otherwise. I'm of the belief that, men did great things and a lot of people died so that we can at least have the chance at being free. Having freedom or not is up to us. And we're fucking dropping the ball on that bitch. We've been dropping the ball for a long time. And that dropping the ball has become normalized. And it's now, the thing to do. It's being a patriot. And no, I'm not putting my seatbelt on because it's the law. I put my seatbelt on because I went through a fucking car one day before and it sucks. I've decided that staying in the car is probably a better idea. And you don't get to choose when you get into a wreck. Just like you don't get to choose when somebody makes you a victim. See people make comments. I said a good one today. I was going to post it, but I still can't post a Freedom Inc. I was going to snap a screenshot and post it. Somebody took in, so listen, I'm going to try to be as verbatim as I can, or at least be as accurate as I can. Probably not verbatim, but as accurate as I can. I took in my sister's brother and his family. They have a 2-year-old. We already took care of Christmas. Does anybody know where they can get a job? I already got them signed up for food stamps and health care. And does anybody know how to sign up for Section 8. Where you go to sign up for Section 8. Please, no negative comments. Just trying to help them out. So I left a comment, something to the degree of, well, you're not helping them out. Say what you mean. My wife made me taking this fucking dickhead that I don't really like. Now I'm stuck feeding this fucking 2-year-old brat who I can't really stand right now because she cries all the time. And I wanted the fuck out of my house as fast. Actually, he wanted him out of his house. My bad, I forgot that part. And now I want him out of my house as fast as can be. So I'm willing to have government enforcement, execute violence on you, or at least the threat of violence, and extort you so they get the fuck out of my house so I can later say I helped you. I said, if you're going to say that you're going to help somebody, don't help them by creating a bigger problem. Here's what you do. You want to help them? Say, hey, I'll take that 2-year-old child and I'll treat it as my own. And you go out and fucking fix your life. And when you get done fixing that shit, come get her. Come get him. That's how you help those kind of people. You know how I know? I used to be one. Long time ago. You know how I finally fixed the problem? On my own. But nobody took my kids though. I did it with my kids and my wife. So there's a way to dig yourself out. And it all ain't got to be fast and it don't have to be easy. There's actually homes that take donations. All donated money. Nobody was forced to do anything. That will put up families. But there's rules that go along with that. You can't, no drinking, no smoking in the house, shit like that. That's what really kills me. You see people flying a sign while they're smoking a cigarette. I'm like, hey man, take that $7. Go buy yourself a Big Mac, dickhead. We eliminated responsibility out of society. Bitches call abortion a right. They want to have the choice, right? You made the choice when you spread your legs, you stupid motherfucker. God, I look around and I just see worthless breathers. Just true worthless breathers. I used to be one of them. And looking back, no reason why the world shouldn't have offed me. Just because I was just a useless breather. I was a little less useless than some though. I wasn't into doing certain things that certain people do. I'm not saying I haven't done shit that I would consider immoral or unethical today, because I did. But I was never that person that wanted to, take anything from you. Which I did though, because the things that I was taking from at the time when I was taking were at a larger level, like the corporate level. Therefore, they would just pass that cost on to you. Or the insurance company would pass that cost on to you. So, I guess I was kind of, whatever. But, no negative comments, please. So you want to throw your shit out there for the world to see. Because you need help because you're too fucking stupid to use Google. And you don't want me to leave a negative comment because you just want to hear nice, happy things. You want people to make your life easier. When you have Google, you have DuckDuckGo. If Google don't tell you the answer you want to hear, go to DuckDuckGo. It will. But that takes too much time. It takes too much time to say how to apply for Section 8 in Benton County, Tennessee. It'll literally fucking tell you. But these people still haven't figured that shit out. No, they have to go on YouTube or on Facebook and type all their friends so their friends know that they're trying to help somebody. Feel sorry for them and shit. And their friends will tell them. It's the same reason why the fucking females go on there and say, what should I cook for dinner tonight? Bitch, how do I know what's in your damn fridge? This is the same dumb motherfucker that goes on vacation and is posting videos from the beach and shit 1,000 miles away, which I do the same shit too, though, to a degree. I do live streams when I'm out of town, but when we do that shit, normally somebody's at our house. I think there's been one time there wasn't somebody there for a day, because when we're not there, our neighbors are there. little deal we got worked out. Just keeps, just have somebody there. So the world's on fire, man. And nobody even cares. Nobody can even see it burning. I'm ordering up all the marshmallows to watch it burn. Because of people like Mr. VSO Gun Channel. He don't want nobody to know that he has no fucking clue what he is actually talking about or what he supports. But you can't feel stupid. He actually said I nailed it. Because I said, the ignorant are the only ones that don't really know that they're ignorant. He said, nailed it. Like, yeah, no shit, dickhead. I'm well aware that I nailed it. That's why I said it. Like, it's like he's the guy that hits the like button when he leaves a comment. Like, you don't think I know that you liked your comment? That's why you left it. You liked it. You liked it. You had to hit the like button. I know you liked it because you left it. But you have to hit the like button. Why, again? I mean, it's fucking sheer stupidity. How can you like your own goddamn comment? That's some true, like, narcissistic shit. That's him. For sure. Can't fix stupid. With 2 O's. Stupid. Alright, I gotta go. I gotta run in here and go get this TV. It looks like I'm about to have to redo the lights on my truck because they are burning. For some reason, it keeps burning. This will be the second time I have had to replace the pigtails for it. It burns the pigtails out, the connectors, for some reason. And it's starting to do it again, cause the light to kind of go out. I'm thinking about going to these other lights anyway because supposedly they're brighter, but they're also like $60. About just taking it back, and then I have some LEDs for the front and back because I can't see shit, especially that long ass trailer behind this thing. You can't see nothing. Plus I need some work lights because we're always working back there when we have the trailer hooked on it. But anywho, I gotta go. I gotta get this shit done. Working on my day off. Motherfucker. Have a good day, guys. I might as well read your comments. I always leave without reading your guys' comments. I'm sorry. Light your joints. I don't smoke weed. Stores already increased prices to cover the cost of estimated thefts. Do you think they do that? But like, so it was a different degree though. I'm not bragging about it. I'm just saying it was a different degree. Like a lot of Walmart's policies, a lot of Myers policies, a lot of other big chain policies are based off of the shit we were doing like in 2009, long prior to me getting arrested. I even offered when I got arrested. One of my, they kept sending me these stupid offers, and I was like, "How about this? How about I save Walmart and Myers millions of dollars every year by telling them how people are getting away with this? I'll just tell them how to strengthen their security. Just drop the case, and everybody parts ways." And they wouldn't do it. Like none of the shit I had even came from those places, so it didn't matter. And I don't even really think. I mean, some of it wasn't stolen, like who knows. But I followed the law to the letter, and I still went to prison over it. No, I went to prison because the gun. My wife had a gun, not so much because of the shit. Can't see shit. Oh, I got to turn my phone up. I can't see dick. Hang on. All right, now I can see something. At that point, I can actually understand where Killy Bates and Santa Claus. Slavic. Yeah, I don't remember what point I was making, but I'm sure you're right. You're right. I sell millions? I wish. All the shirts? Yeah, I know, right? And it's not I, it's we. I think you even had some intellectual property involved in that. I think you were in the text group when it was being talked about. With thin blue lines, of course. Yeah, why wouldn't we? U.S. of all this together, we're all targeted for control. We're definitely targeted for control, man. I mean, look at all the shit that's going on. that people are just ignoring, that people don't even know about. You know, like I said, I heard the first time I ever heard the term ESG was from Guns Coast to Coast. Just because he's a fucking dumbass doesn't make some things he says false. Doesn't make everything he says true either. But when he was talking about the ESG, I think the video was called I Figured It Out or something like that. And like we're seeing this being implemented around us. Tractor Supply is a great example of this. Tractor Supply did what they did to get their ESG score up. That's why they did that. You think it was bad this year, wait till next year. Or 2 years from now, or whenever they reevaluate it, they have to get that score raised again. It's going to be just like the good housekeeping stamp of approval and all that shit. There's going to be some stamp where everybody can say, look, I have this accreditation. I scored such and such on it. That makes our product better than the same product over there for those small businesses that don't have it. I was just talking to the dude that was this tire shop over here the other day about it. You know, we're being driven in one direction and nobody's doing anything to drive back the other direction. They pretend like they are. They act like they are. And then they do shit like eliminate comments because they can't stand on their position. There's no explanation for it. And that I think I'm blocked from every gun channel there is now. I know I'm blocked from Reed Hendricks. I know I'm probably blocked from VSO. I'm sure he blocked me. I didn't check to see. I'm blocked from Reno May, CRS Firearms. I don't think Coda Boys blocked me yet. He may have. Fuck, I don't know. Armed Scholar. Actually, Gaze and Gizmos hasn't blocked me. He answered a comment I made a couple days ago. But then he didn't reply after I asked him another question. And like, I know I can be a dickhead. I get it. Like, sometimes I'm just a dickhead. Like, I'll say, like, you're a stupid fucking idiot or something like that. I normally don't, though. Not the first time, anyway. I'll wait until they say something stupid, then I'll tell them that they're stupid. Not that people want to hear that, but, like, the honey catches more flies than whatever now. I'm done with that shit. I'm over it. Done. At this point, with what's happened in the last 3 years and what you see with going on with people around you, if you haven't figured out the problem being that, and the core problem is that I only care about what happens to me. What happens to you is never going to affect me. Well, that's not the truth. The truth is, if I let it happen to you, then it's definitely going to happen to me eventually. But people don't care about that. They only care about what affects them right now, and that's it. VSO Gun Channel, good example. He's mad about the police officers who will enforce these unconstitutional policies. Motherfucker, they all enforce unconstitutional policies, you dumb bitch. Do you think, like, if there were good cops, there would be no bad cops? It's kind of simple. And if you have a group of guys in a room, right, and there's 10 guys, 8 guys are raping women. The other 2 guys know they're raping women. Matter of fact, they watch them rape women. Are they good guys because they're not raping women? No, they're not. They're accomplices. But you can't tell people anything, man. They don't want to hear it. They don't care. Because they only care about what affects them personally, and that's it. And then it don't even just have to affect them personally. It has to really be something that touches their heart. You know, make them feel like less of a man or something. And then they might care a little bit. But they're never going to stand up for what they say they believe, because they do bullshit based on something some fucking head on the TV has told them, or on the screen has told them. I'm surrounded by stupidity. I was really born at the wrong time. I must have really done some crazy shit in my life. So, here's something funny for you. I just noticed it here. So, Benton County Sheriff's Department is complaining about they need more money. They need more money. So my first thought was, well, there's all kinds of ways to cut money that you don't have to spend. So around here, the sheriff's department, the sheriff's office is just right down the road. They get to drive their cars to the house. And I know that's not a big deal today. It's not a big deal. But in a year, how much extra fuel is that? And what's that extra added cost when they all do it? A bunch. Fucking stupidity. Did y'all watch Angie Frizzle's last video? No, you're able to. Oh. Any Priscilla's? No, I haven't. I actually don't even watch that guy. I will, though. I'll go watch it right now. He does a yellow stripe on it. There's a flag that's yellow. The flag's yellow and it has a black stripe on it, don't it? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I can't think right now. I gotta go. I gotta go get this shit done. You guys have a good day. Stay safe-ish. No, stay safe. Fuck 'em.